Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Gold Coast Oceania MATEria Cup here in the lovely Wonderlands. We are in the semis. We have David once again back on screen with his monstrous warrior deck, and he's versing our locals Daniel G, who is on Refia Control.
Yes, our adopted American is on the stream.
Yep, also
So
one of
we are
our
looking
close testing buddies.
looking at a classic matchup here, Warriors versus Warriors of Light. So we'll see what happens here. So we've got a Laza straight into a Tyvus. Unbelievable how the Warrior deck now has 3 individual searches for Tyvus now. It's crazy.
Yes, all on color and all on brand.
Unbelievable. So we know that we're going to be expecting a little bit of a faster start from David here. So once again, David was second in Swiss. Our good friend Ghoul was sixth in Swiss, so he was on the draw of this one.
Oh,
So Sarah FFLs just go straight for Faris Warrior of Light, and then pitching the Faris to probably play that Lunith. Yep, there we go.
yep.
Pretty stock standard start from the Refia player here.
Yes, it's also easier play when you know you're not dealing with any bin removal.
Among the easiest starts. So the players have gotten the opportunity to research each other's deck lists. Uh, Daniel's gone for something a little bit interesting. He's actually gone for a split of the Faris, so he's using the new Faris at 1 copy, just as another way to freely play his forwards and another way to search for Lena. In addition to that, he is also playing 1 copy of that forward Lena as well.
It's an excellent start against
And
Warriors of
just
Light, dropping the Mog.
yep, and we're just going straight for a Lena and go. So clean, fast play from both players. Well, exactly what we love to see. So I think David at the moment is just thinking, how can I get myself to 5 characters so this Furion can attack for haste? But he's just going to go straight for a regular attack. And sounds like that was a good
Good
Cullen
Cullen.
there.
Yeah.
And that'll switch off Tyvus for the turn. So David's got to do things the old-fashioned way. And the old-fashioned way it is, we're just going to go straight in for the Leo. We'll flip over a Tidus. Doesn't imagine that he'll need it in this matchup, it seems. And yeah, just another case of discard and pass. Not sure exactly what's going on in the hand to think that that would be the direction there. Okay, so I'm gonna
Daniel really
go.
needing to go to his 4 colors. Yep. Let's force that Mog.
Is he going to sacrifice the Mog though? Because we've seen David before not sacrifice, but it looks like he is just gonna
Yep.
say, "Yeah, no, I do not want you to take the risk of searching for a forward. You have too few of them, and if I can keep you off forwards, then it's not gonna happen." So
And Ingus.
Daniel's Yep, so we just did the Ingus there. We'll go straight up into 5 backups. So that means Daniel is set for the rest of the game. He's got 4 Warrior of Light backups in play,
Yep.
which means that every single Refia is just going to be an absolute nightmare to deal with.
And it looks like he hasn't discarded the 4 color wall, Warrior of Light, so
Just completely set for game here. But we'll see what happens on the flip side, because it looks like David's hand is also pretty stacked. The question is, where will he go from here? Looks like he's going back to the
Luna.
limit break for a Luna Freya. Again, I don't hate this play. Gives you an opportunity to potentially develop board while also developing pressure
But I'd be
and
worried about
maintaining
that
cards in
Lena on the
hand.
other side.
That is true, but you did just flip over an Axstar and you have a Tyvus in play. I would just safely say go for that, but he's gone for the Thornton. Maybe none of the cards that he's got there are what he wants. So I'm not sure why he's putting
Yeah.
the Lhasa back into the deck though.
What's he going to grab?
It's important to note that the Thornton can also search for the cards that have been flipped over, so I'll definitely need to keep that in mind.
What's he? Oh, I'm wondering what he grabbed at this point. Grabs the
Yeah, so
Axstar.
it's
Yep.
just yeah, so it's basically just gone Thornton into Axstar, basically just saying we can both draw a card today.
Yep.
I do kind of disagree with that play though, because if you've got that Axstar just
Yeah,
right
you
there,
you drew
so
the Thornton to give your opponent a card, right? So why not just grab
uh,
the Axstar and deny your opponent
the
one
lot,
card?
yes, the loss is in play,
Yep.
and it's not even dull. I will make a mention as well that while our good friend Ghoul has made multiple top cuts of major events such as this is David's second top cut, so he's probably a little bit nervous getting to this
Oh,
point.
everything we say comes from the point of players are nervous, players are in stress mode. They've had a long day the day before, then a long day probably this day, and yeah, you're not always at your 100% when you're at the end of these ropes.
Okay, so he's just gone. Looks like David's just gone full aggro mode, so he's gonna go just jam the Tyvus, jam the Axstar, which may elicit a response from Daniel. I would potentially disagree with that. So he's letting that bit resolve. Okay, so he's just going for a Furion just to say,
Uh,
I'm going to end my turn with 5 cards in hand. Which he would have done anyway if he'd gone for the Axstar straight away and not given Daniel another card.
that's a Furion.
Furion's going to come into play, and looks like we've hit a Kusith. So here
Or a
comes
Cryle.
Faris.
Or a Cryle.
Kusith or Kryle.
He's putting him to 3. That's dangerous.
He's beyond 3 now. I think he's
Yep.
about 4 or 5 points. That was probably the Kryle picking up
Yep.
the Kusith. So Daniel's probably about 4 points of damage in, and now the deck is switched on. So here comes Wally. Not yet. Yep,
Yep.
there we go. Straight into Warrior Flight. It's
Questions.
important to note that
Did he draw the Arc? That's the question.
It's important to note that David is sitting on an Amaterasu, so he can interrupt a good chunk of what Daniel is doing, but how much can be interrupted is the question that we're going to ask here.
Oh.
Well, he may not be able to interrupt that much after all. Straight into a Zidane, which is probably going to eat the Amaterasu here, which I don't disagree with that at all.
No, no, you still do it.
You absolutely have to get rid of that, stop the Zidane from doing stuff. But if I'm paying 2 CP to make my opponent discard 2 cards, I'm just as happy about that as well. But looks like we're lining up a Mist Dragon. Maybe? No. Well, yeah, we're just going to let that happen. That's fine.
Do we have the fire card for the Faris? We
Yes, we
do.
do. That was a spare Warrior of Light. So here comes the Faris. That's going to do Faris things.
We can kill one of the 7Ks. Or less, technically.
We're just eating up the Leo in this case, which I don't disagree with.
No. Perfectly fine.
There's no real value trying to get anything else, and there's a reasonable chance that we could just play another Luna Freya, so not much point killing that just yet. But
Is
we
that a
do have the
second
Refia.
Amat in David's hand? Just no fire. Oh, that would have been perfect.
It may be, but then we also know that Daniel was sitting on a Mist Dragon of his own. So
Yep.
here comes the Refia, and he's got the 4 all set and lined up. So let's see what we do. So we're
Entering
going to
combat.
combat. We'll let
Response.
Refia trigger. We're going to probably spin the Tivus to the top, I would say.
Yep.
And you are right, that is a second Amaterasu, but no 5 CP to cast it with.
That would have been
And
perfect if he had just one fire card.
hashtag just Refia things. Now, Warrior Flag can come in.
Question is, do you block with the Axe Star to protect your Tivus if he put it on top?
Oh, he's going to go with the Faris first. I actually don't disagree with this play either,
Yeah, to
because now
kill
the
the Axe
Faris
Star.
does... It's not just that, it actually can take out the Furion too.
Hmm.
Because there's been 2k worth of AoE ping, which
Yep.
means he can split the damage. He could do 2 hits to the Axstar and then 1 hit to the
Yep.
Furion, and David's got to discard a card to save it.
Yeah, that was perfect play, yeah. Hits both of them.
Yeah, expect nothing less from a expert of the deck. And now Warrior Flight's going to come in and play. There's no reason really not to.
And you still have 4 walls up for a tuck.
But he's decided not to. Probably just trying to play the slower game and just say, okay, I'm going to try and whittle you down of resources. I know you're a high burst count deck, so
Well,
if
no, he
I
already
try
tucked
and...
this turn, so...
Well, it's not just that. I'm talking about the Refia a deck swinging twice, because the Warrior of Light could have gotten in there. But I feel like he's thinking, okay, you're a high burst count deck. I don't want to swing in too heavily and put myself at risk, which is completely fair. And 5 cards in hand, but it looks like Daniel's just got all the ammunition that he ever needs at the moment. I saw a Mist Dragon there. I think I also saw an Amaterasu there too. So the question is, what does David do here? Don't necessarily disagree with that. Just try and go all in. Try and hit the Volca. But it's eating an Amaterasu,
Although
and
it
that
doesn't
is
die.
just...
Well, Volker shouldn't die, right?
Oh, it does,
It
because it's
does?
only an 8k forward.
Oh, it's only 8k? I thought it was 9.
Oh no, that's why it hurts so bad to see that card getting Amaterasu hit, because it doesn't survive it.
Yeah.
Now the insurance policy is just in full effect here from Daniel. So there's straight into the limit break, and here comes the
Oh,
Tidus. He's going for total domination here. He's going to put the Lasso on top, get rid of the Luna Freya, draw a couple of extra cards.
just
And
savagery.
the worst part is he's only tapped Warrior of Light backups to do that, so he's going to untap them all straight after this.
Yep.
That is incredible. So, Refia, and he draws another card. And then Warrior of Light just goes straight in. There we go. Puts the Lasso into the damage. Question is, do you go any further? Looks like he is.
Yep.
I'm going to try and push. And that was a Naji, it looks like it was hit. So that's just going to be yet another card for Ghoul here. But in David's spot, you've got to ask yourself, I'm going to go up to a total of 4 cards in hand for the turn. I'm facing down a board state of 9 permanents, and there's a Refia lined up. What can I even do?
Oh, he's
Even the
going all in.
Refia gets to attack. Yeah, Daniel sees the opening now, so he's just going to go ahead and just push.
Yeah, no point playing around.
Well, in addition to that, Daniel's just drawn 4 extra cards this turn, so there's no possible chance that Daniel doesn't have something lined up. He could either just freely play one of his limit breaks or just go to discard.
Just went to discard.
It just went to discard. And that is a whole bunch of fire cards, but I do see a Clive there, so it may potentially be worth just Clive if free, get rid of at least the Raffia, I would say, or maybe the Warrior of Light. But
But then you're just
you,
taking lethal next turn.
I mean, you're taking lethal regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has to pull the trigger. He's gonna go Clive and Prime. Here comes the Ifrit. I also kind of get the feeling that Daniel's sitting on some sort of reanimation to get rid of all of that. So, yeah, that's pretty safe to say that we're scooping that one up.
Yep.
We're going to move over to game 2.
One up for Daniel G.
All right. So, if I was David, uh, I would want to potentially play it a little bit more aggressively. Probably try to push a bit harder or faster and try and just pressure the Warrior of Light deck as much as possible.
I think that's what he tried. Like, he played the Axe Star without targets. He dropped
all
the
of the above
Fury.
is all of the above is true, but he also, I don't know, he kind of played it a little bit too slow for my taste. There was a time there where he did just go discard to hand size and pass. I feel like if he put a little bit more pressure on, that would have probably potentially had a different game. For Ghoul's sake, it's just do exactly the same thing as we did in that game and weather the storm.
Yeah.
So David has choice once again of first or second. He does not like that hand. He's immediately put it down. And same with
So
Ghoul.
as
He just
yeah, both players just
neither
said
player is
no.
not liking their hands. So we can see there in David's hand there, it looks like he's got a Yarg Rosh, which is a little bit of a throwback to uh, dealing with Yuna.
Well,
Because Yuna
Yuna's
would.
still a one of.
That is also fair, but there was also 0 copies of it in this top cut. So we're going straight for the Lacer into Tyvus, which classic play. What response do we have for the Warrior of Light?
Looks like it's Sarah FFL again.
It does look like it's going to be another Sarah FFL play. Pitching a Lena is interesting.
It's your only water source.
If it is your only water source, then I understand it. So go for a Warrior of Light and potentially another one. Oh, there we go for Raffia. Okay. In the other game, the Warrior of Light, 4-color Warrior of Light, is generally used for color fixing to set yourself up for the next couple of turns.
So you could be setting up for a King Tycoon into another Lena.
Potentially. And it looks like that might be the case. We're just going pass. And if I was David here, I would just go in. You have to absolutely go ham and get that Tyvus down, get that Mog. We know how much that the Warrior of Light deck searches for cards now. So even just shutting off one search. Yes, here we go. And then straight into Mog. And you'd almost immediately want to just play the Mog straight away. Yep, there we go. Draw a card.
And two Amats in hand.
There are 2 Amaterasu in hand, so he's got plenty of insurance. But anything to slow down the Warrior of Light deck will be paramount here. It looks like I see an Axstar into a Zidane as well, so if David doesn't need to use this.
Oh, there's the King Tycoon.
Yep, we should absolutely be.
No.
Oh no, he's not stopping that. This play I don't like because we know how powerful the Warrior of Light deck gets when it's got all of its backups in play, and the Mog dealing the extra point of damage is not that valuable in this spot.
He might be thinking I'm saving it for the Tyro, because the Tyro is the bigger threat.
I can see that sort of thought process as well, but again, I don't like it as much. I would absolutely
Because, yeah, now
just
Daniel's set up to play the Tyro next turn, but he's only set up to play the Tyro because he got the Lena.
exactly. Like there's the Warrior of Light deck wants to go from 1 back up to 3 back up to 5 back up.
Yeah.
But now if the Mog was sacrificed, then you could absolutely just go for it. So we're just gonna go in for the Tyvus, play the Axstar, play the Zidane. And Cloud, Arc, Kryl, and Tyro. So see, this is the exact spot that we were talking about. You could 100% rip the Tyro, but you've also just paused a little bit,
Yeah.
I would say. And it looks like we've just picked up an Amaterasu. And here comes the Zidane. So that must have been a Kryl to pick up the Amaterasu, which is going to...
No, it looks like it might have been.
Oh, it was Terra!
Terra
It
to
was
reduce the cost.
Terra! Unbelievable. Wow. All right. So that's an interesting spot. That
And
was
now Arc is online with the Refure in bin. And that was a Cucullin on top of things.
unbelievable. And we know the Warrior of Light deck is also a fairly high burst count deck as well. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of this stuff is to be expected, but at the same time, you're also just sort of feeding everything that's going on.
So we've
I
got
feel like,
Arc online. We've got Faris online if we can get it. He has a Faris in bin as well. He has a Refure and a Faris in bin.
yep. So he's got a
He's gonna.
Cucullin the Mog first. I
Yeah,
love this play.
very good.
David now has to decide, do I sacrifice it now?
He
Which
will.
you do.
Stop the card draw.
Not just the card draw, but the ability to search off of any potential Faris and Tyro plays. But I don't think he's really that bothered.
No, he doesn't need to go off.
He's just said, okay, well, that's fine. I'll just set up backups more.
And he's got
I
to turn off because of the freeze.
Now, if I'm in David's spot, I do have that Clive in hand. I know I'm going to be pitching 2 Amaterasu to do this, but it's almost worth playing the Clive and then jamming.
Well, he's got
But
the Levitaratsu, doesn't he? Or is that Lev 6? No, that's Lev 6, sorry.
that's Lev 6 in his hand. We'll see what he decides to do. So he's going to go for Nagi.
Not bad. Search up a warrior to play.
So I actually do think this is potentially a good call as well, because now we can put down the Virion and then use the remaining cards in hand to play the Clive and then just start trying to go for the aggression that we were talking about before.
I have
I
a
get
feeling he's
this.
going to drop the Furion and save the Amaterasu.
And that's also a good call as well.
Because he's got the backup up.
He does. So then Furion comes in, draws a card. Take a damage. Nothing of import. Here comes the Axstar. Take another damage.
Looks like
And
there's
seems like
nothing.
nothing of import.
Yeah, Daniel needs to pop it now, I feel.
And here we go. So we are going for the
The Arc, I
Arc, it
assume.
seems. Because he's tapped all Warrior of Light backups to do that. So, yep. So we are going to go for that. Now, David absolutely has to pull the trigger on the Amaterasu here. Otherwise, is just going to go off altogether. And it looks like he's going to do so.
Alright. Do we have the... No, it doesn't look like we have the Mist Dragon.
Not today, but we're still going to activate the 3 backups, which is fine. It just means that I've spent 0 CP to take an Amaterasu out of your hand.
Does he have a second one? I'm wondering how can he recover from this spot, because he's facing down a lethal bullet.
He is facing down a lethal board, but I don't imagine he's worried too much. So it looks like we're going to dull the Kryl.
Amaterasu? Shantotto, sorry?
Perhaps a Tyro. That might be the call here.
Yeah. If he has another wind. No.
Oh, Faris. There we go. This is what we were talking about, the new Faris. So that's going to go searching for a Lena, which could be the forward Lena. And he could use the Lena to special back a Refia.
And he gets a free play if he has something he can play for free. That's a 4 cost.
That's absolutely correct. So Faris can also play a water or fire forward of cost 4 or less at the beginning of combat. So we're going to untap the 4 Warriors Ally, draw a card, and then see if it's something that we could play off of the Faris. Which it doesn't look like it was, so we're going to just leave that trigger alone. But we are also set up for a Refia spin. Which we are going to go ahead and do, it seems. We could just probably put the Tyvus away.
It looks like that's an Amat in hand as well, so if he has a fire card, that means that Axstar's not long for this world.
I'm not worried about the Axstar being not long for the world. I'm more worried about the Firion doing its thing. If I'm Ghoul in this spot. There is also a Volker there, so the question is, does David walk into the same trap? It does not look like he's doing that, so he's going to go for Clive. And then we're going to immediately prime him. Here comes the Ifrit. And that's going to eat the Amaterasu. Yep. I like that. That's a good call. Because now the Ifrit cannot really cleanly attack.
Yeah.
Like, he can certainly attack with anything else. But it won't get over the Faris. So Firion's going to come in and draw a card.
I think you just take the 2 damage and go to 6.
Well, you can take the Firion damage, that's fine. But the Faris is making the other 2 stay at home. That is a King Tycoon, though, so we're going to go get another Lena.
Or Faris, if he's expecting this Faris to die.
Yeah, straight to a Lena.
No, Lena.
Because now what the Lena can do is revive something like, I don't know, a Zidane?
Yep.
There's just so many shenanigans happening at the moment. Okay, so let's see what we've got.
Kusith, which is good.
So here's an interesting play that can be made. So Ghoul can Kusith back a Warrior of Light and then play it off the Faris while also playing a Zidane off of the Lena. And then that would put him in an incredible spot.
Yep.
But we'll see what we do here. So we are going to go Sith. We're going to get back the Arc.
That's
Okay, that's an
interesting.
interesting call.
I know it gets you
Is he...
the.
Does the Arc get back any Warrior of Light?
I believe it does. Never seen it played that way though.
Yeah. Well, that is very interesting. Then we untap 3 backups. Just have to look this up myself now to see if
Yeah.
that's how the card works.
Wait, why is it not?
A lot of scrolling.
Yep. Because
Yeah,
ALC
it is
opponent.
just any job Warrior of Light.
Yep,
It doesn't have to be a forward.
I was sure of that, but
Wow, that is an incredible play. I was not expecting that. And then we've got the Warrior of Life from Limit Break, which basically shuts off everything David can do here, unless he's sitting on a Cucullin, which it doesn't look like he is.
how many cards in Daniel's hand? I assume
Uh,
2.
from Daniel is probably 1 or 2 at this stage. David's got 4, but none of them are useful.
And we're facing down a possible Tidus next turn.
I'd almost say a guaranteed Tidus next turn. Doing it the same way as we did before as well. Tapping
Mm.
purely Warrior of Light backups because we've got 4 of them in play again.
Just thinking about that Vosla.
I kind of feel like Vossler is realistically your only out in this spot if it
Yeah.
resolves. But you have to, yeah, you have to pull the trigger and just hope that Daniel did not top deck an Amaterasu. Which
He
it
did
looks
not.
like he didn't, so let's go and get a couple of warriors. I would probably say Tyvus and a fire one that I could pitch for CP to play the Tyvus would probably be the go here. Just needs to generate board presence.
I'd almost argue the ward maybe.
Well, the ward isn't actually going to do or kill anything because the Warrior of Light protects them all, and the Warrior of
Oh,
Light
true,
himself
true,
is at
true, true.
8k.
I got lost in the source there. That's right.
So
Because what does Axstar? What does uh, Tyvus do? Like, what does it search you? That Vosla doesn't search you.
I think it's more the spot of
Going wide.
I'm going to generate this board state, but at the same time, Daniel's got a hard lock. If he goes for the Tyvus play, he can just spin the Tyvus in response.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. That's what I'm wondering if there's another option. Like, what does Tyvus grab you that Vosla doesn't grab you? Then that puts you ahead.
Yeah. There's so many problems here. I think what I could probably see happening is David's got that Yuzuki sitting there. If he goes for Yuzuki, then Mog, and then just hopes to draw a water card off of the Mog play.
Maybe.
Okay, so he's gone for Tyvus Yuzuki. They're going to pitch that, play the Tyvus, and Tyvus search on the stack.
I think if Daniel had it, he would have used it on the Vossler.
I don't think he's thinking about that. I think he's more thinking about, do I spin the Tyvus now?
That's true.
Which I would probably say yes, because then it
Yeah.
prevents another forward from coming into play. Yep, here we go. He's so not threatened that he's actually using only his forwards to do it as well. Unbelievable. But he also does still have that Sarah FFL up as well, so if...
Tyvus can grab Tyvus, yes.
Yeah. Tyvus can indeed grab Tyvus, so could actually just set himself up for another turn there, but I don't know how much he's got left. Because the next turn he's going to have to empty his entire hand to play the Tyvus, and it's just going to get spun again. So here goes the Furion. And there's a Mist Dragon? And the Warrior of Light.
Warrior of Light. Yeah.
Now that's Warrior of Light's a forever blocker.
Yep.
Oh, I love to see
It was
it.
a trap.
And now Warrior of Light blocks. Now Axar can't attack either. The rarely seen mode of Mist Dragon of my forward does not take damage this turn. Now we knew he could have gone for the Sarah FFL play, but I think once again David's just straight up walked into a trap.
That's a convoluted way to kill a Furion, but it works.
But it also stops the rest of the attacks from happening as well.
No. It was really good.
And what's worse is that the Vossler's death trigger for a warrior dying made absolutely no difference.
Yeah.
Because the Warrior of Light cannot take damage.
And neither can the rest.
So now we're in a properly tight spot if we're David here, because we don't have the permanents to keep up with the board state that Daniel's generating. Speaking of generating more board state, here comes a Leo. Let's just put another card in our hand.
Stacking it so that the
go
Raffia
to
goes
combat.
first.
Triggers on the stack. So we spin. I'd almost want to spin the Volker just to be really funny. Yeah, put the Volker on top. And now we untap all our Warriors of Light, draw a card. And Faris is going to bring a Warrior of Lights. Or some forward of some variety.
Looks like he's going to coup Sith in response.
And pick up a Zidane.
Yep.
And then that's going to be the free play.
Yep.
Yeah, for a person that does not like Zidane as a card, he is using it incredibly well. There goes Tyvus. Oh, he's taking the Clive first.
Well, he gets a swing.
He does get to attack, so... I'm not sure if we wanted to take a card there. See, that's the whole thing that we were hoping to not set up. Because we wanted to put the Volker into damage, so I'm not sure why we actually took anything there. But I can understand why.
I thought he put it on the bottom.
No. Now we have to spin the Tyvus, though, I'd say. Tyvus be gone. And Zidane swings underneath. You're just trying to calculate what other attackers we've got left still that can do stuff. Oh, is that maybe it was just a double burst. Might have been a
No,
couple of
no,
Cook
I think it was
Collins.
Ku Collins. Yeah.
Yeah. And now, and now Daniel's just casually said, "Okay, thank you so very much for refilling my hand." But David has just ripped a Clive off the top. I think you've got to go for it at this point. It's another case of you have to get rid of that Warrior of Light, otherwise you're just not playing the game.
Yeah. At least you get the secondary kill after the Warrior of Light dies.
Well, there's still a Refia spin lined up again.
Mm,
It's the same. It's the same spot as it was the previous game. Like you just have to go for it. That Warrior of Light is just in the way. The other alternative is to potentially go for Zac, ping the Warrior of Light, try and swing with the Axstar, and then do the shenanigans. But there's a lot of messy things going on in this spot.
well, looks like he might be going for a Luna.
Yeah, really is a Luna Freya. I kind of feel like in this spot, it's not a Luna Freya, it's a Luna Prayer. We are praying to get something good off of this.
Ooh.
It is a Levy 6, and there's a Thornton. So there are indeed options, but the question is, do you want Daniel to draw yet another card and just continue burying you in card advantage? He is saying that I do want to do that.
Saying I draw first.
So this could be a good spot to actually just bounce the Warrior of Light. And then put it the... Yep, so he's going to go for the Lev 6. Put a Firion in hand, bounce the Warrior of Light, perhaps?
Yeah, he's targeted the Firion.
Oh, I see. He's going to go for a Refia spin with all of that on the stack. Still. So he put the Axstar away. Okay, that I disagree with.
Yeah. That's why I was wondering why he tapped the Refia instead of tapping the wall.
Okay.
What do we do here?
I think in this spot you have to just go for the Clive for free play.
Yeah, especially since the spin is gone. That might be why he tucked the Refia.
That could be the case.
Yeah. No,
But
I see.
yeah, but again, you have to get rid of that Warrior of Light before you do anything. It's just a
I'm
pain in the neck.
Yeah, but the Ifrit will get rid of it, so he has planned for this. So it was the right move.
Okay. Yeah. There's a couple of ways I could have gone about it, but
Yeah, I think
the thing is as well, putting the Refia back into the hand instead of into the break zone is different. It's a completely different story. But here comes a Mist Dragon to say the Warrior of Light takes no damage. Once again. And now the Ifrit can't even attack profitably. Because now Leo just goes under the bus.
Yeah. I'm gonna say you are on 6, right? Yeah, you gotta be on
I
6, or
think
even 5.
4 or 5.
Mm.
The Luna Freya just came in this turn, so we're going to go up another point of damage. Which is a
Coup.
Kusith?
Yeah.
Either a Kusith or a Kryl in that spot. It could have been either one of them.
No, Kryla can only get Faris back.
Lena is a Cat 5 forward too.
Oh, is she?
Yes, she is.
Oh.
But I can understand not blocking here as well, because now you can just
You
threaten lethal.
Yeah.
Because you could go 1, 2, 3. You could play the Refia again. It can't be targeted. You do the Refia spin. He's given the Refia haste first.
Mm.
And now we do the Refia spin. Activate, draw. And now you've got 6 attackers.
Anything to play? Nope.
Don't need to. Here comes the Refia. There's another EX burst. Another Kukulkan, I think.
Another burst.
And yet another burst. I think David's game plan now is to just hope he hits 7 bursts and decks Daniel out, but I don't think that's going to work that way.
He got. It looks like he got 2 wards.
Yet,
I think.
yet another burst. Here comes Zidane. All right, what's... Oh, Zidane's not going to rip a card from hand?
I think.
I don't think it's going to matter.
Yeah.
There we go. Good games, guys. Good games. Look at
Yeah.
that hand. He had absolutely everything. Spare Refias, Amaterasu, Lev 6. That's probably the most stacked hand that I've ever seen at the end of a game.
Well, he did draw like 4 cards at the end there.
It did draw 4 cards at the end of that. So, good games for that one. And Daniel is moving on to the finals.
Yep, which we'll show you guys next time. I want to once again thank Wonderland Games for hosting the lovely event. If you're watching this, press all the good buttons below, leave a comment, let us know what you're thinking, and if we've missed anything. Like, I love reading the comments in the chat. Anyway,
It's
we'll see
showing
you on
off.
the
He's
next
had 5 cards left in deck. Unbelievable.
one. Ooh.
Until next time, guys.
See yous.